Okay, our review this week, Daylight from Zombie Studios. Let's go. Gameplay footage. What do we got here?
The main character is Sylvester Stallone, right?
No, it's not Sylvester Stallone.
You're trapped under a bridge or something, and you've got to rescue the survivors.
This one here, I was following this one for a little while, but not only because it looked kind of cool. I don't know. I'll get into the graphics in a little bit, but I was also following it because Jessica Chobot wrote it.
Who's a babe?
Sure.
I'm not too familiar with her, so thanks for enlightening me.
For those that don't know, Jessica's been a gaming personality for quite a while now. I used to watch her all the time on Strategize when I first got my 360. She's also been in tons of other gaming-related stuff. In fact, I remember an interview, I think it was on the game show or something like that, where she actually said she was in talks with publishers and pitching an idea for a game. So kind of moving from the just, game reporting and gaming personality type thing to actually being part of the development process. So this game here, Daylight, I'm guessing this is that game. It might not be, but whatever the case is, this game is what we wound up getting. She was also in Mass Effect 3 as Diana Allers, which was also sufficiently creepy, but that was more BioWare's fault, I think, and not hers. But in any case, I'm a big fan of hers. Jessica's great, so let's talk about this game here, Daylight. Now, this is a survival horror game where you play as a girl named Sarah. She wakes up in an abandoned hospital, no idea how she got there. She picks up her phone and a voice comes on telling her just, explore the facility and learn its secrets. Your only items are the phone, which serves as both the flashlight and your map. You also get glow sticks and flares. So the glow sticks are actually pretty important because the light they give off reacts to objects in the environment and shows you where stuff might be hidden. And the flares are arguably even more important because when you have a flare active, you can actually burn the enemies, and that's really your only chance against the enemies, or you can run away. But if there's a few of them near you, you gotta have the flare going because otherwise they're gonna kill your ass. So the objective in each level is to find a set number of remnants, which is what you're seeing here, these kind of like text documents or notes or whatever. They're scattered all around the levels, and again, you use the glow stick. You see these things glowing here, and then you search in stuff like desks and filing cabinets or whatever. So once you have the required number, you get there's a thing called a sigil that gets revealed, and that's what you use to unlock the door that will bring you to the next level. So each sigil is like it's just a significant item from the hospital's history. So like in one level it's a Bible, and another it's a pair of scissors. So the other thing is once there's the two spots on the map, like in each level, where the sigil is going to appear and the locked door. You can run into those before, like if you don't have all the remnants yet, you'll you can run into these places. It's the same in each one. There's like a symbol. So if you get there before you actually have all the remnants, it'll actually mark it on your map. So that's actually pretty helpful.
So to complete each level, you have to capture those remnants, you said?
Yeah, it's those notes that are popping up. So there's a set number, and it tells you how many you're missing.
Yeah, that kind of reminds me of that game. It was a smaller game. I think it was only made by like one person. It was that game Slender, where you were in this. You were in the woods, and the guy Slender Man would chase you around.
Yeah.
But your objective for that game was to grab like 5 notes, and then you beat the game because the game was small, obviously.
Sure.
But that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it sounds like this is a lot similar, and you always know, like on most of the levels, it's like 6 of them. So once you get all 6, then you can grab the sigil and then go straight for the exit. But sometimes it's different; it's not always 6. So yeah, there's a gauge on the screen too that shows the monster threat level, and as you collect more remnants, like the gauge increases. So like the closer you get to finding the sigil and getting out, like more enemies will come after you. So like it's just, oh man, it's just scary as hell. The enemies in this game, I gotta say, like sometimes you'll round a corner and then just be like bam, they're right there. So that's where you want to use your flares. Like if you hear that music or you hear that gritty sound effects and stuff, they're on you. You want to get that flare going. One thing I'll say, one thing you never ever want to do, if you hear the audio cues and they're there, you never turn around. Because that's this game's gimmick. Like they will spawn an enemy behind you every single time, and that's like it. So like if you hear that crap going on and they're not in front of you, like
run away.
Yeah, just keep going. Or yeah, that like this game will do that to you every single time. It just puts an enemy behind you, like whenever they're coming for you. So actually later on though, like there's a level where it's like more of an open area. It's like a forest, but there's just a ton of trees and stuff. You can actually hear them. They'll like warp around, and you'll hear them like popping in behind you. But like you can hear them you can hear them creeping up on you. So as long as you just keep moving, they're usually fine. Another thing I want to mention is that the game is procedurally generated, so that means like the layout of all the levels will change every time you play it. So it's always going to be different, and the items aren't always in the same spot. So I mean, that's kind of cool. The thing is though, I'm not sure I'm going to play this again, so I'm not sure how important that is. So yeah, so like right here, that's the I believe that's where the sigil is going to appear. That symbol on the wall. It's either that or the locked door. Yeah, actually, I think that's the lock, because they don't have the sigil yet, and it's on the door. So it's always going to be that. So if you run into that, you'll know, and it puts it on the map too. So once you get the sigil, you get all the remnants, you can book it back to that thing and get the hell out. So yeah, it's cool. Like I said, it's cool. It's procedurally generated, but I don't know. You know, if you're one of those types that's going to buy this and play it a few times, then that's good. It's never going to be the same thing. And then also, I've heard you can play it, and then you'll get, you know, a couple times through it, you'll get more of the story and you'll get more stuff. So, you know, it might be worth it for that. And you know, related to that, I can say it's actually pretty short. You can finish this game in one sitting, no problem. So keep that in mind if you're interested in this one. Another thing I want to point out is that this is an Unreal Engine 4 game, and you're probably not getting that impression from here. It does not look like a next-gen game, unfortunately. So
yeah, no, it doesn't.
I don't want to beat them up too much on this though, because they're an indie developer, and they're probably using Unreal Engine 4 mainly because of the tools, and you know, since they're brand new, the tools probably working really well for them there. But you know, maybe they should have gotten some help from Epic or something to make this look a little bit better.
I actually think the graphics look pretty good.
You gotta factor in too. It's with an indie game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know, they look on par with what like Amnesia had, and that was another indie horror title that, from what I could see, had a very similar like look and feel.
Yeah.
So
something else that I think we should mention too is that I saw it mentioned, like, I didn't have any issues running it on my system. I played it on PC, but somewhere they were talking on GAF, they were saying it takes up like 3 gigs of video memory. So if you don't have a beefy graphics card, it's going to chug on you. So and I don't know why. I mean, maybe they just didn't have time to optimize it. But that's you know, if you don't have a speedy video card, that might be a concern. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't want to beat them up too much for that. But so let's talk about, so overall, like, okay, so this is a survival horror game. Is this game scary? And I gotta say yes. So overall, this game, guys, this game creeped me the F out. Like, Silent Hill 2 was the last one I played where I was like, oh man, this game's messing with me, freaking nightmares and shit after I played it. And this one, I'll say after an hour or so, and you know, like I was saying, you know, they'd spawn the enemies behind you and stuff. After an hour or so of that, I could pretty much predict when the enemies were going to come in and stuff. Even with that, even having the enemy behavior figured out, they still got me almost every single time. Like they jump in and just scare me and get me. So I'd be like, you know, I don't know. It was well executed in that regard. So before I played this, I did see a lot of people bashing the game, but a lot of times I always try to ignore most of that stuff if I happen to come across it and just play it for myself and, you know, see how things are. I sort of agree with most of the people's complaints. I don't want to say this game is boring, but it does feel a little bit empty at times, and you're really just collecting the remnants and avoiding the monsters. However, like I said before, this game is tense as hell. So if you're looking for that horror experience, this will definitely give it to you. So let's put up the scorecard here and give a recommendation. If you're a horror or a survival horror fan, then yes, this game is $15 on Steam, and the equivalent on PS4. If you're not really a horror type of person and you're not really into it, I don't know how much you'll get out of this, but they did do a solid job. So I can suggest it. I can say yes again if you're into the horror genre, but otherwise I have to give this one the pass, unfortunately. So there you go. That is Daylight.
If you're a famous YouTube personality, yes, put up face cam, play this shit, and then rake in the money.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks for watching, Sleens. If you like that one, we've got more for you right here.